You think getting fired is the bad part. It's not. The bad part is what happens inside that building the second you leave it. While you're sitting in your car trying to process what just happened, they are running a checklist. And by the time you merge onto the highway, most of it is already done. This is exactly what your company does in the 10 minutes after they fire you. Step by step. And nobody, not HR, not your manager, not any career coach, is going to walk you through this. You know how the meeting goes. The calendar invite with no agenda. Your manager sitting slightly to the side, not across from you, because sitting across from you feels too confrontational, and they were coached on this. The scripted lines. We're moving in a new direction. This wasn't performance-based. We really value what you've brought to the team. You nod. You go quiet. You take the folder. And then someone walks you to your desk. You grab your charger, maybe a picture frame. Someone is watching to make sure you don't take anything you shouldn't. And then you're outside, and you think, that's the end of it. It isn't. It's the beginning of something you were never supposed to see. Here's what every other video gets wrong. They tell you what to do after you get fired. Update the resume. File for unemployment. Take time to heal. Nobody tells you what they are doing. And what they are doing is not random. It is not emotional. It is a sequence, legal, operational, psychological, that was designed, rehearsed, and ready to execute before you walked into that room. In fact, most of it was ready before you even knew the meeting was happening. Here is every step, in order. In real time. The countdown. What the company actually does. Step 1. They kill your access. Before you reach your car. Your IT department was notified before the termination meeting started, not after. Before. The moment HR opens that meeting, a flag is set in the system. And the moment it ends, your email dies. Your Slack dies. Your Microsoft 365, your Salesforce, your project management tools, your cloud drives, all of it, gone. This is just one piece of what's really happening at work. Like it so more people wake up. Share it with a colleague who needs this reality check. Subscribe Workplace Decoded to start playing smarter, not just harder. Companies use single sign-on systems like Okta that can kill every access point simultaneously with one click. You won't even know it happened until you try to log in from your car and your password stops working. And that is intentional. They don't want you to have even 5 minutes of access after that conversation. Because in 5 minutes, a person who just got fired and still has access can do a lot of damage. Forward emails. Download client lists. Screenshot internal documents. So they don't give you 5 minutes. They give you 0. Step 2. They remotely wipe or lock your work devices. Even if you still have them. Companies use mobile device management software, tools like Jamf or Microsoft Intune, that let IT remotely lock or fully wipe a device without ever physically having it. You could be sitting at your kitchen table. Your laptop could be open. And someone you've never met is pushing a command that is erasing everything on it. Remotely. Silently. Legally. Your personal files, if you ever saved any on that machine, gone. Your saved passwords in the company browser, gone. And here is the part that makes people uncomfortable. This was ready to go. The command was queued. They were just waiting on the signal. Step 3. They control the story inside the office before anyone can ask questions. While you were walking to your car, your manager was already on a call or sending a message to your team. Not to be cruel. To manage narrative before it manages them. Every HR department has a script for this moment. It sounds like this. I want to let you know that as of today, Alex Perry is no longer with the company. We wish them the best. If you have any questions, please come directly to me. That is the entire message. No explanation of what happened. No acknowledgement of what you contributed. No window for the team to react publicly. The script is not designed to be cold. It is designed to be closed. There is a psychological term for this. It is called narrative control. And your company practices it more than you know. Step 4. They audit everything you touched in the last 30 to 90 days. This one most people never suspect. After a termination, companies quietly pull logs. Your email history, your file downloads, what you accessed, what you printed, what you forwarded to personal accounts. Enterprise systems like Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace log everything. Every document you opened, every file you moved, every external email you sent. And after you leave, Someone, usually IT security or legal, runs a quiet audit. They're not necessarily looking to sue you, they are looking for exposure. Did you take anything? Did you share anything sensitive? Did you have access to anything that now creates a liability? If they find something, they have documentation before you've even updated your LinkedIn. And if they find nothing, they still have the logs. Just in case. Step 5. They redistribute your work within the hour. Your manager right now is opening a spreadsheet or a project board. Every account you owned, every project you were leading, every client relationship that had your name attached to it is being assigned to someone else. Not tomorrow. Today. Because the company has to keep moving. And here's the part that stings the most. Everything you built, the processes you figured out, the shortcuts that saved hours, the relationships you spent years developing. Your company is now trying to reverse engineer all of that from your email threads and your Slack history. Without you. Because it was never yours. Every workflow you created, every client note you wrote, every strategy you built, you did it on company time, with company resources. It belongs to them, and they are extracting it right now. Step 6. They protect the official reason, very carefully. Ask yourself, what is the official reason you were fired? Because whatever your manager said in that room, and whatever is now written in your HR file, those two things were aligned before the meeting happened. Legal approved the language. The reason on paper is almost never the real reason. The real reason might be that your manager didn't like you, or that your salary was too high for what the budget needed, or that leadership was restructuring and your role became redundant. So the official reason is always something clean. Position eliminated, role restructured, performance did not meet expectations. These phrases are chosen specifically because they are difficult to challenge legally. And by the time you get home and start Googling your rights, they have already documented every step of the process in a way that protects them. Step 7. They monitor whether you'll sign. Federal law in the U.S. gives employees over 40 years old 21 days to review a severance agreement and 7 days to revoke it after signing. For employees under 40, companies set their own timeframes. Usually shorter. Your HR team knows that clock. They also know the psychology of that moment. You just got fired. You're scared. You're thinking about your mortgage, your insurance, your next paycheck. The severance feels like a lifeline. And buried in that agreement, in language that takes a lawyer to fully decode, are clauses that waive your right to sue, your right to discuss your salary, sometimes your right to even say where you worked. They are not waiting to see if you'll negotiate. They are waiting to see how quickly the fear makes you sign. Step 8. They scrub your digital footprint from the company's public face. Your name is coming off the website. Your bio is getting deleted from the team page. Your email address is being set up to auto-bounce or auto-forward to your manager, so no one notices you're gone before the company is ready for them to know. Not necessarily removing everything, but reviewing what leaves the company exposed if your name stays attached. Because if things end badly between you and the company, they do not want their public brand connected to you. And if things end fine, they still want a clean record going forward. Either way, your name starts disappearing from places you spent years building visibility. Step 9. They prepare for what you might say publicly. Companies know that fired employees talk. Glassdoor, Reddit, LinkedIn. Direct conversations with people still inside the building. And large companies, especially ones with HR and PR functions, anticipate this. Some companies have communications teams that monitor Glassdoor reviews specifically after terminations. Some have legal on standby in case a fired employee says something that violates their NDA or non-disparagement clause. And that non-disparagement clause, that's the one buried in your severance agreement. The one that says you agree not to make negative statements about the company, its leadership, or its employees. You signed away your right to say certain things in exchange for that check. They didn't tell you that's what you were doing, but that's exactly what you did. Step 10. They move on. Completely. Faster than you expect. This is the one that is hardest to accept. Within days, they post your job. Sometimes it's the exact same title. Sometimes it's slightly different, to avoid optics. But the role exists. The work continues. The team adapts. And within 2 weeks, operationally, it is as if you were never there. Your Slack messages get archived. Your email threads get reassigned. Your name starts being used in past tense, not because people didn't value you, but because the machine was built to keep running, regardless of who's inside it. That is the system. Real question. Which steps shocked you the most? For me, it was the audit. The fact that they pulled every file you touched, every email you forwarded, every document you downloaded before you even update your LinkedIn. Comment below. I read every single one. The people who recover fastest after being fired are not the most talented. They are the most portable. They built relationships outside their company walls. They maintained a reputation that existed beyond their company email. They treated their skills as something they owned, not something they leased to an employer. They understood that loyalty to a company and investment in your career are not the same thing. One protects the company. The other protects you. Most people spend years doing the first one, believing it was the second. You don't need to be paranoid. You need to be parallel. Build your external reputation while you have the internal one. Maintain relationships outside your org chart. Keep records of what you built, what you led, what you contributed, in your own files, on your own devices. Because the company keeps records on you, you should keep records on yourself. 10 minutes. That's all it took them to move on from you. And in a system built on math, the only protection you ever had was never needing them more than they needed you. Build that. Starting now,